The latest averages from our partners at Decision Desk HQ show Vice President Harris growing a lead in several swing states. President Trump is still ahead in Arizona, but that lead is narrow. Joining me now, President of Decision Desk HQ, Drew McCoy. Happy Monday to you. I'm curious, so both were recently in Pennsylvania. Do we notice a difference in the polls once these candidates make a stop and are stumping on the campaign trail?
Hi, good morning. It's hard to attribute to a stop, but it's obviously something that both candidates are focused on nationally as part of their major strategy. So you can see the change certainly in the polling in Pennsylvania. Before President Biden dropped out, Donald Trump had a 4-point lead there. Now it's basically tied Harris with a small margin there. So it's hard to attribute to one factor or another specific stop, but certainly that's why those campaigns are going there so much. It's going to be a key state, and there's been a lot of movement there recently.
Let's talk about a couple of other battleground states. Wisconsin, for one, I mentioned Harris will be there this week visiting her supporters. What do we know about Wisconsin and the tightness of the race in that battleground?
Yeah, Wisconsin is another really interesting state. It's a state that Scott Walker had been governor of for a number of years. It was very contentious, but it was a state that Republicans had focused on. It's a state that's a little bit tougher for Donald Trump, even though he won it very narrowly in 2016. Has a lot of voters, a lot of Republican voters that are tough for him in the WOW counties around Milwaukee, the suburban sort of well-educated voters. Those are voters that Donald Trump hasn't had great success with. But again, there's also a lot of rural voters in Wisconsin. So you're going to see the Harris campaign, the Trump campaign focusing on different areas. The Harris campaign will certainly be trying to turn out votes in Milwaukee and Dane County around Madison. And the Trump campaign is going to try and get those rural voters that he has such tremendous success without. So you're going to see a lot of effort in that state for sure.
Let's get in the weeds in Michigan a little bit. What's important to voters there, and is it comparative at all to Wisconsin?
There are certainly some similarities. Again, some areas where perhaps Donald Trump has shown some weakness with traditional voters, as Republican voters rather, as sort of that Republican coalition is being reimagined and repurposed by the Trump campaign. So you'll see areas around the suburbs of Detroit where Republicans have done well traditionally, but it's softer support. In the western part of the state, you'll see around Grand Rapids is an area where Republicans generally do well, but Trump will spend a lot of time simply because it's an area where those voters are a little less sure about him. And again, you'll see the Harris campaign certainly going into some of the larger areas around Detroit to turn out their base vote.
Let's head out west. Arizona is always an important state, another battleground state and toss-up in this election. And when it comes to immigration and the border, what is some of the polling revealing about the tightness in Arizona and other border states?
Yeah, that's been an issue that voters have identified throughout the campaign, whether it was Joe Biden or Kamala Harris leading the Democratic ticket, is something that they're very aware of and very concerned about. We've seen a tremendous movement in the polling since Kamala Harris took over, though. Trump had a 7-point polling lead in our average, and now it's a tie. So there's been a lot of movement there. Obviously, it was one of the closest states in 2020. There's no reason to think it probably won't be again.
We're always talking about Georgia in elections. Drew, what are you guys noticing in Georgia right now?
Yeah, Georgia's a key state, again, for the Trump campaign. Their clearest path to 270 is to flip Georgia and Pennsylvania. So it's just two states they essentially have to win to do this. They had a 7-point polling lead for Trump going into the switch, and now it's down. It's still one of the states that he leads in, but it's down to 2.5 points. So again, that's a state where you're going to see the Harris campaign put a lot of effort into playing defense. If they can prevent the Trump campaign from flipping Georgia and hold on to their blue wall in the upper Midwest, that's going to be the ball game for them. So Georgia and Pennsylvania really are going to be the two states everyone's focusing in, and we've seen a lot of poll movement there in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, a lot of toss-up states, really interesting numbers. Drew, thanks as always for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.